Vatican City is the world's smallest state, and is trying very hard these days to be a model of ecological virtue. Recycling, solar panels, they've even got a project to reduce their carbon footprint. We'll talk about it today on the Vatican Report. I'm John Thavis, Catholic News Service Rome Bureau Chief.
And I'm Carol Glatz, CNS Rome correspondent. Now, anyone who has been to Rome knows that as you marvel all the gorgeous monuments here, you'd also better watch your step. Rome's streets seem strewn with just so much litter and waste. Italy, in fact, is trying to grapple with a major garbage crisis. The Vatican, on the other hand, seems to be miles ahead in recycling efforts. The Vatican last year put out large street-sized containers so residents and workers can start separating glass, metal, plastic, paper, and non-recyclables.
Right, and separating the trash is the first step. The next step is to get tourists and pilgrims into the recycling spirit. Now, as you know, every time there's a major event here in St. Peter's Square, it generates a ton of garbage. And then you have millions of visitors coming to visit the Basilica or the Vatican Museums every year. Those visitors are now finding separate recycling bins for their plastic water bottles, their soft drink cans, and other material. And of course, the #1 trash item at the Vatican is paper, coming from the hundreds of Roman Curia offices. Fortunately, it is recyclable. In fact, the Vatican has discovered that depending on the price of scrap paper, recycling this material can actually generate a small profit.
Now, it has to be said, the Vatican's recycling program is being run by Vatican gardeners. That also means that they're not quite able to handle environmentally sensitive waste. So the Vatican has hired out outside companies to come in, haul away, and dispose of properly certain materials like expired medications from the Vatican Pharmacy, biomedical waste from the Vatican Health Clinic, and even meat byproducts from the butcher's counter at the Vatican supermarket. Now, Vatican residents and workers can also get rid of any bulky or dangerous items of their own. All they have to do is just call the special number and a truck will come and pick up car batteries or refrigerators or what have you.
Sounds very efficient. And it also sounds like Rome could learn a few lessons from the Vatican on this. Vatican officials are also looking at the bigger picture. For one thing, they're exploring the idea of windmills. Now, you won't be seeing windmills on this landscape. You might be seeing them, though, on the tracts of land owned by the Vatican outside of Rome. And the Vatican is also looking into setting up biofuel production on the grounds of the papal villa at Castel Gandolfo.
Now, already here, the Vatican has done some incredible things. Just last year, the Vatican put a large solar panel system on the top of the Paul VI audience hall. Thanks to the generosity of a German solar company, some 2,400 solar panels now dot the top of this roof. Now, in eternally sunny Rome, that means it will produce some 300,000 kilowatt hours of energy a year. How much is that? Basically, that could supply the yearly energy needs of about 60 homes.
Well, we've also heard reports, Carol, that the Vatican was about to construct a giant solar power plant outside of Rome.
Yeah, reports were saying it was going to be Europe's biggest solar plant. Those reports are premature because Vatican engineers still don't know how big of a project they really want it to be. Vatican engineers would love to turn this land into a large solar farm, but they still need to draw up proposals and even carry out feasibility studies first.
And I understand the engineer in charge of that study has said he was inspired in all this by Pope Benedict XVI. And it should be said, Pope Benedict has led the way on this issue. First, by talking repeatedly about the moral obligation to protect all of God's creation. That's a message that's important not only to Christians, but to other religions as well. And second, he has approved all these initiatives, especially, in particular, a reforestation project in cooperation with the Hungarian government aimed at making Vatican City the world's first carbon-neutral state. So for many people, Pope Benedict has become the Green Pope because he talks the talk and he plants the trees. I'm John Thavis.
And I'm Carol Glatz, Catholic News Service.